Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and today I've got a review of 3 more junk journals and a small haul, so stay tuned. All right, nothing like starting the show with a frog in my throat, but let's get to it. How are you doing? I stayed up super late last night trying to get all 4 of my digital kits into the same kind of format. So my eyes are a little droopy, my voice is a little cracky, my face is a little ugh. So we'll just go on anyway, but I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. So in our last video, we were looking at some of the handmade junk journal type of things that my husband and daughter found in an antique store, and some really cool stuff. And I've got 3 more that I ran out of time to show you in the last video. So let's get to it. So the first one, let's go ahead and get our, oh, it even kind of matches my shirt. Let's get this out of the way. So I have a beautiful flower that's been Brad is what I was trying to think of in the last the last video. She put a brad in here to hold this in place, and the outside is just different pieces of printable or construction paper. Oh, so last night on the bed I found this piece. It looks like it was here, so that can just be glued back on, and it's not glued in a way that allows this is also glued down. Some people will use photo corners to put something on the front cover to decorate it, and then you can take it out and exchange it as you want, but these are all glued down. But this, because it's kind of on a curve, maybe that's why the glue didn't stick. So what's my recommendation for that? I don't know. I guess in looking at this glue, it looks like a pretty thick glue, but apparently, I mean, there's not a lot of surface area on these, so I don't know what a good glue is in that kind of scenario. I don't know everything about glue, even though I pretend like I do. All right, then, all right, on this, you can kind of see the chipboard that she used underneath is just showing there. And then when we open up, so this is, I guess, going to be more like a folio. We open it up and, oh, well, no, this is the one that has the envelopes. So a long time ago, I did a video where I was putting together envelopes to make a junk journal, and that's kind of what this section is. But before we get to that, we've got some stuff clipped in here that we can then use to decorate other things. So like I said before, she's stuffed it, all these things. No pockets or anything here, but then it just goes into the envelopes. And this envelope has got stuff that you can pull out, but you can kind of see. So she's taken business envelopes and has covered them with paper. And then there's a way you connect them by using the flaps of the envelopes. And so we've just got tons of goodies in here. Okay, this one doesn't have anything in it, but perhaps I pulled something out and didn't put it back in the right place. Okay, and then the final part is here with some trim. And then, yeah, you can see, you can see where it's, the papers kind of come up because of how it was folded. And so you can see the underlying cardboard. And so that's just another thing to pay attention to. But we've got a notepad in here for writing, and some more brads up here, and then another kind of window pocket with a tag. And then another spot to write. So there's, you know, some, it's not just a folio, there is some writing. You guys, these definitely, well, I've got some of these from Temu, from that film set. And something to hang from a, like an ornament style kind of card. And it looks like this little signature in the back has been sewn in. And then she's got a flower on an envelope, but this doesn't, the envelope doesn't seem to open. And then another tuck spot that looks like maybe she watercolored one side of it. And then the other side over there. And then just more. Yeah, so these, okay, this one's got Velcro. And it's super tight. I don't feel anything in there, but you could put stuff in there. And then another one of these. Oh, well, I was thinking, okay, so underneath she's got the hole in the paper, not just in this. So yeah, so that's interesting. That feels like it might have string underneath it, or maybe it's just the fold where it was folded initially. Yeah, and there you can see where she's sewn it. All right, so that is the end of that. Oh no, it's not. More stuff. See, I'm telling you, it's chock full of stuff. Now, I'd like to say it's easier to make things chock full of stuff when you're using scrapbook paper and printables than it is. Oh yeah, and we've got a handmade paper clip here with some more stuff. So yeah, so I'd like to say it's easier to stuff things full, and here's the envelope in the back when you're using printables, but that's probably not completely true. But if you're trying to use authentic vintage ephemera, it might be, well, that would put the price up. So these things, I don't think they got me anything that was higher than $40, which is on the low end of a junk journal. Now, some of these are not junk journals, but I think it's cheaper to make junk journals out of non-vintage ephemera, which of course, why wouldn't it be? All right, let's do this one next. So we have another collage. This time we have a little bit of a spine on here, and so the front cover is a great place to put pockets. We've got some postcards here. These look like some kind of midnight themed, like I don't know what theme it is, but got another one here. I love birds. And then we've got, this one's definitely more of a journal, it looks like, instead of just a, you can see some of these are the same as what we just saw in the last one, which that's one great thing about printables, right, is that you can keep using them over and over and over again, and in different ways. But I got a lot of tea or coffee dyed paper. Another thing for, oh, this one's got, okay, this one's got multiple layers. So I've got this first layer down here, and we can pull some stuff out. And then we've got kind of almost like a belly band style to pull more stuff out, and then even more stuff in the back. So that's neat. I've not seen that before. This paper is really, she did a good job on this, I think. And more decoration. More tuck spots. I was like, there are some books you can buy. Like I've bought a book from Temu before where the top edges were sealed still. And there's a certain name for that in the book world. So I was trying to see if that's what it was, but okay, now here we've got, is this a little booklet that comes out? No, so we just have another little booklet on top of a page, because this is the signature for this little booklet, not for the book. So then we've got a bunch of kind of wildlife printables. So here would be a good spot to put some washi tape just to cover that transition between signatures. Some more folders. This is definitely, if you like horses, this would be a good one. And here, what's going on here? Oh, these are PVC stickers. Oh, and a cute little envelope that's full of stuff. So yeah, she put a lot of effort into these. Here's another handmade paper clip. So you can just get any kind of paper, wrap it around one side of the paper clip, glue it together, and then there you go. And then it looks like just a decorative piece. And there's several of those in this one. Oh, and here we've got a little pocket that folds down and open to reveal more stuff. So that's neat. A belly band made out of, nope, I take it back. It's a pocket made out of lace. But if you wanted to do a belly band, you could just glue it up here and glue it down here, and then you could slide things in and out that way. And so here's a spot where she kind of, is this the back cover? Okay, well, it's the back cover where she went over so you couldn't see the connection. And then we've got another kind of, oh, a huge little thing in this back pocket. Well, you guys, she did a really, see what I mean? There's so many. It would take, if I were to like take everything out and see how much stuff she added in here, it's a ton. We've got some bookmarks back here, or tags maybe, I don't know. So kudos to her. This one was really not too bad with the gluing waviness. So it's possible, you guys, that she sold everything she made, even if it was a learning experience. All right, now this one also looks like it's lost a piece of something right here. And I don't think I saw any other loose pieces, so it may have been lost in the shop before we even bought it. But we've got a pocket on the front with, okay, well this, hang on. This little part is actually connected. So a lot of people put this on the spine, which we kind of have a rolled spine here, so that it's out of the way if you're wanting to, you know, write, because this will be maybe a little bit in the way when writing. But I like what she did here with the lace and the key. And then we have some additional kind of, these things are all bound together with a brad on the cover. Sometimes it's hard to tell what things are supposed to come out and what things are not supposed to come out. So I'm kind of always feeling around. And this one we've got a kind of a jute rope closure that you can tie, so that's great. And then we get to the inside, and it came with a little journal and more stuff in pockets. Cute little butterfly. That's cute. So this would have been like an iron-on patch that she took 2 of them maybe and put them together so she could put the paper clip in between. So that's a cute idea. I'll just put that back down here. And then let's look at this little, so she took a digital kit and that was probably designed exactly for this to create a purse size little journal. And let me just leave that out to the side so it's not continuously falling. And then here, does this come off? Yes, this comes off. So we've got a page topper. What do they call this? It's like a bookmark corner thing. And then this is what it looks like on the back side. We've got a couple pages pinned together. This one, it looks like we're using just ivory paper. And then we've got a big, oh, so I hit myself. A big pocket right here that you could put stuff in. And then on the back of that, another journal. That's crazy. I'm not sure I looked through this one. So we've got almost kind of a Halloween-y vibe on this one. And then, so there's a lot of things that she's using these brads to kind of hold together, but it looks like the back of the brad is covered. So you're either gonna have to tear these off if you don't want them left like this, but they spin so that you can still get to the other pages. And then this opens up, and anytime you see like a cutout here, that usually means there's a pocket of some sort. And then we get to the inside. And then more. Is this a belly band? Yes, this is a belly band that you could slide something under. Another corner topper. So yeah, some of this feels very much like and there's multiple pages connected with this, you know, that you could separate. It definitely feels like almost like something you'd make in a class learning how to make a junk journal, because there definitely seems to be some themes of like we're getting all the corner toppers in this one, for example. But she's definitely mastered kind of the, we've got some underlying cardboard that we can still see here. But she's got the folio idea down. All right, and then we've got another thing to pop out. Another cool, oh wait. Okay, no, that one's glued on. Tab. And more, it's just full, you guys, so full. I've got a little paper clip up here. And just, so what do you guys think? What do you think of her, so these little tags you can get like at Walmart for a couple bucks in the craft section, and you could tea dye those too. But that's kind of a cute little corner. Oh, so maybe this is a, oh, it is. This whole thing comes off as a paper clip. So you can even have huge paper clips. Definitely plenty of space for writing and for storing stuff. And here we've got another, it looks like another envelope situation where we're making a little thing out of a bunch of envelopes together. More cool stuff. So yeah, overall, these last three that we've looked at today haven't had quite the same, oh, that's kind of neat. Haven't had quite the same glue situation we saw. So I think that's evidence of, you know, getting more experience. Aw, little postcard. And this one's, I mean, it's got a lot of great paper and stuff in it. And then this one also has some of those metal page things. So yeah, so there's the third one. So I think, of course, now I've got lots of little bits of paper on my pants. But yeah, I think she did a great job. I really didn't see any of the, really out of everything that I got, the only thing that maybe I didn't like about it was some of the gluing. And that I think, well, and there was one yesterday that we couldn't really close. There was no closure method attached to it. So in that case, when that happens, you could just take a long ribbon and kind of use that to close it. It doesn't have to be physically attached to the journal. But yeah, I think she did a really good job. I kind of am curious about the expensive journal that they didn't get me, just to see, you know, what that might have been like. But that last journal we looked at was huge, and the fact that it had, you know, several or two little journals in it, I think is great. And isn't that a great use of printables? So I don't know, I'm in the learning stage, so that's why they got me these things, to help give me ideas for what I could do in journals once I start making them, and to give me ideas for the digitals that I create. Maybe not necessarily, oh, well, now I know I want to make a cemetery theme because we saw some cemetery stuff in there. No, that's not what I'm looking for, but just kind of the sizing of things that get used. And my digitals, even though I really love my digitals, they're nowhere near as intricate as some of these other, I mean, some people are so, well, they have way more digital art skills than I do. I have like very little digital art skills. So, all right. So then, actually, let me do a pause here to get the bag ready for the little haul. Hi, let me take a brief moment out of our video to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Junk for Goats. Junk for Goats is my business where I sell and resell vintage, antique, and some modern ephemera for all of your junk journaling or crafting needs. I have shops on Etsy, Whatnot, and I list my digital items on my coffee shop. All of the links for those are below in the description, so please check that out. It's also important to note that 10% of all the proceeds from my sales are used to purchase goats from Compassion International. Those goats are provided to families across the world to help them meet their own families' needs in terms of their diet, but they can also take and sell the milk and the cheese that they produce from their goats to their friends and family nearby, helping to provide them with a income source that is valuable in the areas in which they live. So if you would like to craft with a difference, please check out the description below. And as always, thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks. All right, so these things are some more things that came from the big antique mall down in South County. And Jason picked this. Jason and I each had our own. Okay, so let me tell on myself. This was our biggest one trip spend, was at this particular place, and they need to get carts, like grocery carts. Some antique stores have grocery carts, and this one would have been fine with grocery carts because the aisles were wide enough, but they didn't. They just had cart, you know, little baskets you had to carry around. And so whenever we'd fill a basket, we'd turn it into them, and we ended up covering like a whole countertop. And when we finally were done, they were like, oh, the people that have filled our entire counter. And so some of the things, even though Jason and I were kind of sticking together through this, which we don't always, he picked out some things, and I picked out some things. So this was one of the things he picked out. He knew I had kind of started collecting, not to keep, but these close-up maps, which are from Reader's Digest. And I found some in a creative reuse store. Oh, well, this one's not. This is a, oh, that's cool. I like, so some Reader's Digest maps I like and some I do not. I like these ones that are like this. And I like these close-up ones because, well, that's not a close-up one. But like some of these, I don't know, some of them they're a little bit, they don't look old enough for my liking. So this one's definitely got, oh, well, here's a, but I like these ones that are specific places. And since this one's got Missouri on it, let's just see. I mean, it's kind of cartoony. Not kind of, but it is. 1974. So I don't know if all the close-up USA maps are kind of from the 70s. So you get some history. But this one's got seven states. And then you get the map. So map is a great, so like in these journals we looked at, she was using printables and coffee dyed paper and just plain ivory colored paper. And those are kind of easier to put other designs on, but if you've watched enough videos out there, you know that people use maps as the background, you know, to put their pockets on and stuff. And it's just, you may not be able to see a whole lot of the map page when it's done, but if you could, because if you had a special place you liked on the map, you could kind of circle it or ink it up or something so it shows, and then when people pull the things out of the pocket or whatever that's in front of it, then they'd see that. So you can get very, very detailed, obviously. So those were the maps, and then there were like 3 of these in the store, and the first one, there were 2 in the same booth, and one of them didn't have a price, and they had a rule in their store that no price, no sale. So I got this one, even though it's got this faded sticker on it. But that's okay, because I don't really care about this part of it. I want the stuff that's inside. So I've got it all the way up to the top, but I'm sure all of you know what these are. I don't think I have any young viewers. But you'd put it like that, and then you'd clip it, or you'd push this down, and then it would go to that spot in the alphabet. But I'll put it up to the top so that we can see. And it was completely full of, it's kind of a thicker paper, and I like ledger that's already used. I like this kind of stuff that's already used. It's got the little tabs, or it's got, you know, the tabs on it. So yeah, these are going to become pages in journals. And are there any, like, can I tell an age from any of this? This is the Bates List Finder. Director or Classic, the Bates Manufacturing Company out of New Jersey. But I was wondering, so they've all got 10-digit phone numbers. So it's not, you know, way back in the day. But yeah, I wonder if this belonged to a business. Oh, and it's even got some corrections, like they put, I don't know if they didn't need the listing that was underneath this one anymore, or if the person moved or something. So they were super organized, you guys. This guy, Dick Carey, has a nut business. 1-800-544-NUTS. And then some of them are not quite as full, but yeah, so I like finding paper. This particular antique store had packers, meaning that there were 2 people assigned to check out. They had 2 checkout lines, and then they had 2 people that would wrap and bag your stuff for you, so that by the time you were done, you just had all these bags ready, which was super nice, because this is not a place that has the barcodes. They have to pull off every single tag and sticker and manually key it in. So it takes forever. But I got this. I really love the cover. So this will probably become a junk journal at some point. And it is from, it's got a really nice inscription that will have to stay with this when I do make a journal, from March 10th, 1882. And the book itself is from 1876. This may be one of the oldest items that I have. It doesn't really, it's a textbook. So, but I just really like the design. So then it's just got your kind of your standard reader, if you're familiar with the old readers, but it's in really good shape for its age. I mean, this must have been a book for older students, because the readers for younger students always have crayon and pencil and all kinds of stuff in it, but this one was really taken care of. So, and maybe, I mean, even the spine is in good shape. So I don't know, I guess I'll have to think about the right way to honor this book as a journal. Will I attempt to sew it in so that I don't have to cut it? I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. Then I found this, the Port of Seattle, 1914. This is all paper. This is like a paper magazine or something. Marine Exchange. Phone Main 7. So that's how Phone numbers worked in 1914. Lawrence Brothers Boat and Engine Brokers. And I really like this cover. I believe it is detached already, so that'll definitely be easy to make a journal cover out of. And then the back cover of these kind of things always have advertisements on them. And it was in a pretty thick thing to keep it safe. But yeah, like this is already detached. And then, so I think this will make a great journal cover. But it's a stapled book, which is a little bit harder to deal with. These staples, these thick staples are hard to take out sometimes. But there's bound to be some advertisements, possibly in the front, possibly in the back. Well, pictures, but let me see if I can find, I mean, the book itself, aside from the advertising things, the nature of the book is not all that great, although it does, look at this, you guys. That seems like I bet the people on the red pages, or red page, there's a single red page, but those people had to pay some premium bucks for that ad. So it's got great pictures that I'm going to take out, but then it's got these maps in the back of the shipyards, or maybe of the boats. Let's see if I can undo one of these. I don't even know how this is supposed to work without tearing it. It's like a vellum kind of paper. Okay, hold on. This surely, does this not come out? Am I still holding down? Oh, it's just even huger than I realized. No, that doesn't want to separate. Well, at the end of the day, I'm going to be just tearing these out anyway so that I can actually get to the... This looks like a fairy... Oh, but it's like... The print is off. Oh, no. It doesn't... Oh, am I going to even be able to hold this up and show you? The print is off. Do you see that? It's kind of hard to see. But it looks like it's a ferry boat. And what else do we have over here? I guess they must have assumed you were going to take these out to look at them, because they are glued in on one side. Okay, this one, the font is okay, and it's a maybe a map of the marina. So, and then there was another kind of map thing in the middle, but it's of course really kind of banged up because it's in the middle. So yeah, and then the very back was those maps, and then there's a kind of a directory. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Would this make a great cover? I think this, you guys, is from 1914. I could scan this. That would be an awesome digital to share with everybody. All right. Everybody that can find me, that is, since I haven't invested any money in marketing, that's for sure. Then I found what was probably like a collar of a robe that I just thought would make a good closure on. I mean, it's not very long. Well, I mean, it is. It's probably 2 yards, right? So you could wrap that around, or you could cut it and decorate some pages with that, or a cover. And then I found this set, which is a airmail set. I thought this box was kind of neat. It doesn't have all the pieces anymore, but it had these cool envelopes. Kind of they kind of feel like a vellum-y kind of paper too. So I thought those were pretty neat. And, you know, I could make I wouldn't have to even cover these with paper, and I could make a little journal or folio like this other person did out of this whole little stack of envelopes. And then it did have some paper with it. I don't know if it's the paper that came with it because it's just plain paper. So that was I like finding stationery kits. And then a little address book. This one feels like the font reminds me of late 1970s Hallmark. You guys remember those little square kind of calendar books that you could get from Hallmark? Maybe in the 80s. But so it's never been used. What year is it? Oh, it's designed to be any year because it's not got the days of the week on it. But is anything going to tell us? Hold on, let me go back. Is anything going to tell us what year this was? Oh, well, this is way newer. Early 90s. So I graduated in high school in 94. But then we've got the calendar pages, and then we've got the address book pages. And because it was, I guess, never used, then at the end, it's got all of the tabs. So I thought that was a great find. And I had somebody open a case for this to get this pad of paper. I thought this would be great paper to put in a train journal. So there's a nice little pad there. Isn't it crazy the things people save? No, I don't know. That's probably not crazy. Oh, some empty bags from something I've already looked at, I guess. This must have been I think I combined some things. So I found some Jack and Jill magazines. Now, these are from the 60s. I think that I used to get Jack and Jill magazines in the early 80s. So when I was early grade school, and I wish I still had them, right? But these have some, well, it's used, some cool advertising, a cool, order me kind of thing, because they finally had started doing that in the late 60s. That's also when the coupons that you could tear out started appearing in like the Good Housekeeping and those kind of magazines. So they've got great images if you were going to do a historical kind of themed journal, or a 4th of July journal. So I picked up, they had 5 or 6, so I picked all of those up. One of these, let me see if well, this one, were they all the same on the back? Kind of. Oh, and here's one with a cardinal on it. So, 10 Valentines. Okay, this is the one. This was February of 1968. And it's got the little Valentines. Wouldn't that be awesome to pull these out and put them in a Valentine themed journal? So, just some cool images. I can't say enough about old magazines. Now, I don't, for some reason, I'm not a big fan of the Life magazines. Because you can almost, that's probably the most prevalent magazine that I see when I'm sourcing stuff, but I don't like those as much for some reason. But I really would like to find some kind of theater magazines. And I don't mean playbills, I mean actual theater magazines. I think I've found one. And maybe, I can't remember now if I've hauled that already, but those were, that's kind of different. But I love the McCall's, and the McCall's is probably my favorite because there's almost always a fashion section in those for fashion of the time, since there's the same company that makes the sewing patterns. So, but yeah, I love finding, and I don't want to spend a whole lot for an old magazine. So $5-6 is really all I want to spend, unless it's like those 2 McCall's magazines I showed in a previous video that were from the like 1906, 1905. Those, and the $10 was a good price to me for those. And I'm still hoping I'm going to find some old magazines in my Litchfield mystery boxes, which hopefully I'll get back to someday. All right, here we have just a Coca-Cola notebook. I thought this might make a good journal, from 1943. So I can make a cover out of that. Of course, I need to figure out how to get these old price tags off of them, which weren't the price of what I paid, I don't think, because, well, maybe it was. But then then it just got unused paper, which is always good. And this is one of my favorite things that I found in there. It was this pack of index cards with these metal tabs. So I've seen Seven Plaza do stuff with metal tabs like this, and I'd never seen them. So now I can't really get them off. So they'll get used as is like this. But it'd be easy to cinch punch the side of this and stick this in something. So yeah, I think that's really fun. And it could be, if your journal was wide enough, you could punch it on this side. I think I looked up on Amazon if you could still buy things like this, but I can't remember if I found anything. And then this was probably a dumb purchase, but it is a set of presumably vintage window envelopes for this company in St. Louis. I didn't look it up to see if it's like out of business now. I'm hoping I just didn't buy some like new stock envelopes, but I thought it, like, this is not obnoxious. So, and this would probably be a good ones to do a folio with, especially with having the window, but I wouldn't necessarily feel like I had to cover this up with paper. Unlike a lot of the ones that you get today that are just totally covered with weird fonts and stuff. Okay. Deuce. I don't know why I got this. Jason thought this would be a cool idea. If nothing else, I like the letters on here. But it's a Milton Bradley game, and it is from 1985. A little board that you could you could separate this, and this would make a journal cover. Separate it where it's like this, and then cover it, unless I just wanted it to have that kind of look. But these cards kind of remind me of Uno almost. They're just number cards that say that. And is there anything else in this? No, but it's got little pieces of cardboard that you can reuse, repurpose, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think I'm going to say Jason picked this out, because I'm not really sure that I mean, number cards are good, but I have tons of number cards that are older that I like. And then we found another Quizmo game. And you guys, this was sealed, so I couldn't see what was in it, but I was really hopeful because I thought maybe, so Hyper Stamper has some flashcards that are green, and I was like, maybe this is them or something similar. And then kind of this yellow Quizmo card. But you guys, the other Quizmo game I bought had like green cards, but when you opened it up, it was white cards. And so wouldn't you know, that's kind of what happened here. So this is from okay, well, I thought all of these boxes had a date on the outside. 1972. So you've got your cards for the person that's running the game, and then you've got your Quizmo cards. So see, these Quizmo cards are white, just like the other batch I opened, which makes them look a little bit more like, well, here's a big, really big stained one. But see, even this is great in a junk journal. Kind of makes them look a little bit more like the bingo cards. But here's what the green cards ended up looking like this. So I was a little disappointed, but I can't complain too much because there's 2 full games in here, 2 full sets. So more for my money, can't complain. And these make great cards to go as a thing, and you could cover up one side so that people could write on it and it not be just decoration. I think I will certainly have some decorative pieces in my journals, but I do want to make most of the things that get added in functional. So now, granted, somebody may use some of those decorative pieces to decorate other things, right? It doesn't have to stay with the journal. It can be like a source book too. So, okay, well, that was everything for this bag. Let's do some nostalgic TV trivia, and let's see how we do. What was Mickey Mouse's original name? Who co-starred on The Persuaders? Who owned the Ricardo's apartment building on I Love Lucy? Give the first name of Perry Mason's secretary. Name the 2 spies who antagonized Rocky and Bullwinkle. Name the Burgess Meredith character in Batman. Who starred as Lisa Hughes on Our Private World? Whose best friend was Maynard G. Krebs? Okay, I've heard of a lot of these things, but I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to know. What was Mickey Mouse's original name? I want to say Steamboat Willie. And did Steamboat Willie go in public domain recently? Which would be crazy, right? Walt Disney is one of the most, like, you cannot accidentally copy any of their work and survive with your home. I mean, but I feel like I heard Steamboat Willie went into public domain. But yeah, I think it was Steamboat Willie. Who co-starred on The Persuaders? I have no idea. Who owned the Ricardo's apartment building on I Love Lucy? Well, that was Fred and Ethel Mertz, of course. Give the first name of Perry Mason's secretary. I think it was Della. Well, shoot, I want to say Della Reese, but then was that the actress that was on Touched by an Angel? So I'm going to just say Della because it's only asking for the first name. And I used to watch that, but it has been a long time since I've watched that show. Like decades. Name the 2 spies who antagonized Rocky and Bullwinkle. No idea. Name the Burgess Meredith character in Batman. Okay, I either want to say the Joker or the Penguin. And I'm probably going to pick incorrectly. But I'm going to go with the Joker. I don't know. Who starred? I mean, I can like see him because I did also used to watch that show decades ago. But I don't know. I can't remember. Who starred as Lisa Hughes on Our Private World? Never heard of it. Whose best friend was Maynard G. Krebs? Now, I have heard of Maynard G. Krebs, but what show would that have been from? Maynard G. Krebs. Was that like maybe from Green Acres or something like that? We're going to have to look that up. But do I even know where my... Oh, there's my phone. Whose best friend was Maynard G. Krebs? I don't know. I don't know. All right, what was Mickey Mouse's original name? Oh no, it was Mortimer Mouse. What? Well, who was Steamboat Willie? Okay, well, who co-starred as the Persuaders? Tony Curtis and Roger Moore. Wow. Who owned the Ricardo's apartment on I Love Lucy? Fred Mertz, not Ethel, just Fred, but I'm still taking the point. Give the first name of Perry Mason's secretary. It was Della. They don't have the last name on here. Now I'm thinking Della Street. Should we look it up? Perry Mason. I know they've redone that show, and I can't remember if I watched any of the remake. It was Barbara Hale. Della Street. Okay. So Della Reese was the person on Touched by an Angel. All right. Well, back when Raymond Burr was more mobile, although it was Ironside when he was in the wheelchair, right? Okay. Name the two spies who antagonized Rocky and Bullwinkle. Boris and Natasha. Spies like Russian spies? Those sound like Russian names. Name the Burgess Meredith character in Batman. Dang it, it was the Penguin. Oh. Who starred? I can almost now see him wearing like a suit, which I guess should have been the key that it was the Penguin. Who starred as Lisa Hughes on Our Private World? Eileen Fulton. That doesn't even ring a bell. Whose best friend was Maynard G. Krebs? Dobie Gillis. Okay, I maybe saw a handful of Dobie Gillis episodes because that was what, Bob Denver, Gilligan. So, okay, Maynard G. Krebs. Well, all right. Well, so I got Fred Mertz and Della. And I missed Mortimer Mouse and the Penguin. So 2 out of 8. Ugh, not very good. But let me know how you did in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Hauler Time as we haul all things vintage. And yeah, let me know what you think of those junk journals. Those were pretty awesome, don't you think? And they're going to be great sources of inspiration as I start getting crafts. So now we just need Jason to get his stuff organized and out of Gabby's room so I can start filming, get my filming stuff moved in there. She does come home. She's not coming home for Labor Day because she got invited to her boyfriend's family's farm kind of thing for Labor Day. But she's coming home the day after that for a concert. So we told her there would always be a place for her to come and stay. So, all right. Well, thank you for watching and commenting and liking and subscribing. And thank you to my members if you are a member. And I hope that things continue, or if they aren't going well, I hope they start going well for you. But wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day. And until we meet again, take care of yourself.